Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing out there? Hey, Benita girl. Oh, let me put this up here. How we feeling tonight? What you say? Point blank. Period. No half steppers. Okay. How you doing? How we feeling tonight? When you get in here, say hi to me. Don't be shy, okay? We have some good things going on. We're going to get into some great conversations. And I think we're going to open up the lines tonight again tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I've been loving having the lines open. Okay, that's right. Shout outs to my moderator. Look, Benita, look, y'all know when I be chewing my gum, the gum makes me feel a little ratchet. But I'm going to spit it out eventually. But let me do my little sherry thing. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have some great things going on and just some great stuff that we're going to get into. Inspired by recent conversations. Okay, you're either submissive or you're not. We're not going to play this tonight. Y'all know we keep everything real over here. If you're just getting here, share the show. Give me a heart and a thumbs up, you guys. Go follow on all platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, because I think I'm going to end up, I always come to you guys before we decide to do anything, okay? And I think I am going to, I don't know, I'm going to hold off on that really quick. But I think I'm going to tell y'all anyway. I think I'm going to stop going live on Facebook. I know it's still, we got to come to this conclusion together because y'all know we are family, okay? So whatever we decide, we decide. All right. Hey, Andre. Oh, Andre, you on time today. All right, you on time today. CJ and them, they late today. So I just want y'all to know that Andre that meet y'all here today, okay? How you doing, Andre? It is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, and we are almost through 2026. Okay. How you guys feeling? I'm feeling good. It is so many different little things going on. Even though, like I told y'all last week when we were talking, right? 2026 been letting her foot have her foot on people's neck and she been applying pressure and ain't letting up, but we still have to push through. Amen. And that's what we say. But yeah, I'm going to open up the lines tonight. So if you have an opinion or you want to share a thought tonight, as we get into some things, I'm going to do that. And again, the link to will be in the comments. And you already know if you don't see it, if you don't get it, just let me know and I can always send it to you directly. But I am putting it in the comments section. And shout out to YouTube. Hey, YouTube, how are you guys doing? You said you were good? Okay. Okay. I'm drinking my little watery thing. Look, gum exit. The gum has exited the chat. Okay. Y'all, and before we get into this stuff, because there's so many things going on that is going on around the world, and you know how we going to let go, let flow, however the conversation go. Oh my God, look at me rhyming, okay? Um, yeah, so give me a heart and a thumbs up. I just want y'all to know in 2 more days, no, 3 more days. What's that? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes, in 2 more days, you guys, before we get into what we're going to get into tonight. In 2 more days, we will officially be turning. Wait, I want to see who's been here for the longest from day one, or may have just joined us. How long have we been here? We will be celebrating how many years come this Friday. I am super excited, and I have just been trying to relish in that moment of that. And it's kind of feels a little surreal, you know. I want y'all to know. Come on, Andre. Come on, Benita. I know y'all got to know. How long have we been here? Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time. I'll see your little numbers in the chat. Put your numbers: 1, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. How old are we turning? Okay, how old are we turning? How old is Candi Coated Secrets turning? While I pull up some of this stuff. Oh my gosh, a woman stabbed her friend with scissors after he told her she was not allowed to drink a beer in the Uber. See, this is the stuff that is going on around the world. Did y'all see the girl who killed the girl and the baby? Because the girl was pregnant, of course. She unalived her and the baby over some lashes, over a $15 refund deposit. I mean, this is the stuff that's going on around the world. Although I believe, we can all learn something from some of this foolishness that's going around the world, okay? Don't just absorb it. Okay, I haven't been here from the beginning, but I say seven. Okay. That's all right, but you here now. You here. You here. Okay. All right. You say seven. Shout outs to you. Wow. So this man was on death row in California for unaliving his pregnant wife, but he died after 45 years in prison. See, this is enough. Okay, let's just say me, I was just about to ask you, but I stopped myself because I seen in my memory yesterday it was 7 years. Is it 10? All right, okay. So since y'all are here, I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all, we are officially turning 8 years old Friday. We will be turning 8 years old and going into 9. Oh my God. I did not know. Okay. Can you believe that we have been together 8 years? I'm just sitting here thinking of all the things that has transpired over the years of just life. But we have been together 8 years. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. I cannot believe it. And I am like getting excited the more and more it approaches. Like, but don't get me wrong, like I just started getting excited. Um, because I'm always doing so many different things. It's just a damn, I'm way off. Sorry. No, you're not, girl. Because listen, it feels like it's been seven, because it used to be like 9, 10, 11, 10, 9, 9 years. We will be going into our ninth year starting Friday. Friday, we will be celebrating the closing of year 8 and going into year 9. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what's going on, what's going to happen next. But tomato, tomato. Can y'all believe that though? Like, let's just relish in that. So, um, I don't know. It's so many different things. So this is what I was saying before we get into the to it. Okay. I think I'm going to, so Facebook is now, they've been doing it for a while, but they haven't done it, or at least maybe I didn't see it. But after a certain amount of days, Facebook will delete your video. It takes your video down unless you download it. Now I have all the videos downloaded, but I'm kind of like, all right, maybe are we going into this new chapter, and are we going to just remove everything from off of Facebook? But Facebook is my baby. Facebook, like, y'all are my baby. So it's like I'm a little torn. I don't know what to do because everybody doesn't get the notifications all the time everywhere. This is why you have to go to the channel, you have to follow the platform, and you have to turn on those notifications, okay? But I don't know, y'all. What y'all thinking, Andre? What y'all thinking, Benita? Are we going to just come off of Facebook? I don't know. I'm really trying to figure that out. Just because I'm still trying to get into the woo of things, like, all right, well, if you take this video down, then the viewership and all that stuff goes with it. So it's just like, what do you do when your son is at home crying on the floor, on the bedroom floor, because he's hungry? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to let that ponder on me before Friday or by Friday, because we will be turning 8 years old. 8 years. Do you know how difficult the journey of 8 years of believing in yourself and just jumping out there and just doing what you want to do, what you love to do? I've been doing it for 8 years, consistent. What you say? I've been winning. What you say? 8 years consistently, at least respected. Papoose wrote an ether record. Nah, but I broke a Aretha record. Y'all already know I was gonna find a Nicki Minaj ball up in there somewhere. But yes, so woo, I can't wait. I am super excited. But I don't know. I think we're gonna come off of Facebook and just strictly do YouTube. I have not decided. But y'all know how I do. Whatever you guys say, I always take it into consideration. Um, it's a piece of hair on my face. I always take it into consideration before we do things. So here we are lately, okay? And I wanted to share my thoughts on something. I was asked to give my thoughts. Matter of fact, I need to tag her. I was asked to give my thoughts on a post um, in regards to tonight's conversation podcast, you guys. And you guys know I cannot stand tonight's conversation podcast, right? Before tonight's conversation podcast became this huge thing, I just always it's like, I can't describe it. You know how I don't know if you're this way, but I'm able to see I can see between the BS. So when I'm able to see between the BS, it's like it's hard for me to get into it. I mean, I feel like that they have some good conversations and things like that, but I feel like they just sit there and they all just give their opinions or their personal experience, and then they treat it and spit it like it's a matter of fact. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to do this so I can answer these questions. So I just tagged you. Hopefully you see it so I can give you an answer. So here we are. So it seems like we are back in this cycle of masculinity, women who are masculine, they don't operate in their femininity. where is Handy Mandy when I need her? Because I always say that. The femininity. Yeah, okay. um, as far as it goes out here, right? And you guys tell me what you think when it comes to things like that. We constantly see things where people are always saying, well, it takes the right woman to bring out certain things in a man, and it takes the right man to bring out certain things in a woman, or a woman will be she'll be soft and feminine and all of that for the right man. And I always to a point like to challenge that statement. Y'all know me. Y'all know how we do over here, okay? That's why I titled the show tonight. You're either submissive or you're not. You know, um, I feel like there is no in between. And I feel like, instead of us talking about it and people discussing it as far as, oh, well, you're not submissive or these things like that, like there's this huge stigma. Now, y'all can tell me if it's right or wrong. I don't know. If you got some fellas here and y'all want to join in, you can. Because y'all, I have never dated me. Okay. I've never dated a woman. Um, but it is this stigma around, predominantly Black women not being able to be feminine, always being rah-rah, uh not being submissive, talking back too much. And that is supposed to be the said reason why these men, they say, get rich and leave your ass for a white girl. You know what I mean? Courtesy of Kanye, you know. And I don't know. I feel like that. Like, where did that all begin? Like, who started that? Y'all know. I know some of y'all who y'all like to equate everything back to slavery, okay? But y'all know how I feel. Everything cannot go back to slavery. I know that everything has a root, but everything can't go back to slavery. I feel like that when we talk about that, and when you're looking at it, you have to measure the situation, right? You know, it's like I believe everyone wants to be, what's this new thing they got going on now? This soft girl era. I think all that shit gives me a headache. I can't even lie. That gives me a headache. It's like you're either something or you're not. But I believe that the issue comes in is because um women try, give their all to the wrong person, where it's not equally reciprocated. I think all of this is reciprocation, right? It's not necessarily, well, I met Dante and Dante just made me be in a different zone and brought out different things within me, right, that Terrell didn't bring out. And it's like, well, what did the relationship with Terrell look like? Was Terrell good with money? Did Terrell, was he open? Was he there to support me emotionally, mentally? Was Terrell abusive? Was Terrell a deadbeat father? Did Terrell just sit around and play video games and smoke weed all day? Was Terrell a womanizer? All of these things play a part in that. And just it's just me. I don't really feel that that has anything to do with being feminine, um, or not being feminine, or being toxic, or being masculine. You respond and operate out of whatever environment you're in. If I am secure, right? If there's a security in the relationship, what we talked about last week, you know, remember that, Andre? We was all here when we talked about that last week. Like, what's the issue with your partner going through your phone? And y'all heard the one man show up saying, it's only a problem for my partner to go through my phone if I'm doing something I don't have no business. But if we locked in and this is how we are, I don't care. This is who I'm with. She can go through everything, right? So it's one of those things. It's and then you have to have and build and land some standards too. So what y'all think? Like that's the whole thing. You know how they say, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? No, 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 about some of y'all. Some people over here, and they is doing everything for a boyfriend. You even have some people who have brought homes with a boyfriend and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with buying a home with a boyfriend, even if you guys have been together from high school and then y'all end up getting married and all that. Like, I think that is great for those who think that it's great, right? But we have to understand that all of us as individual people, we have our own standards and own things that we want for our lives, right? So if you know that if you're dealing with someone and when you're out and about and they're thinking of you and they may be in the store shopping, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna get this perfume, or I'm gonna get this shirt, or I'm gonna get this cologne, or I'm just gonna bring him or her a sandwich just because I was thinking of them this today, right? And they're doing that, and it's like, okay, and then they show up in ways for you that you don't have to ask for. I don't think that that has anything to do with you being masculine or being feminine and being submissive to a man. It's all about how are you being treated in the situation? Is there reciprocation within the situation? So is it safe to say, can we take the name masculine and submissive and all that, and submission and submissive? Can we take that off of the table and just be human? You know, be the energy you want to attract. Like, that's all that it comes down to and boils down to for me. You know what I mean? If you're with somebody and you're doing everything for them, and they're not doing anything for you, they're not helping you out, they're not even helping in the house with the kids, they're not doing all of this. Okay, there's going to come a point where you may feel like, hey, I don't feel like having sex tonight. I don't feel like cooking because I got to take care of kids, I got to walk the dog, I got to clean up, I got to do everything, and I just don't feel like doing anything. I want to be left alone. I'm not washing clothes this week. It's not that I'm not washing my husband's or my man's clothes. I'm not washing none of y'all clothes. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't really, hey Scenario girl. I like, you're either, me and my cousin, we used to talk about this all the time. It's like, you're either submissive or you're not. You're either feminine or whatever, or you're not. you know um Everyone operates in their own femininity during different times and stages and things throughout the day and throughout the year. But ultimately, how they're talking about it in this clip, I can show it to you guys. Ultimately, it's one of those things where it's like, no. Now, I do believe that the people that you can be with can bring, I don't even like to say bring different things out in you. I would like to say add to you, or they're going to depreciate you. Me personally, I can't be with somebody that I can't learn from. Like, if you can't teach me, then I ain't trying to say every moment has to be a teaching moment, because it's like, don't talk to me like I'm dumb. But I have to be able to learn something. Like, you have to be able to deposit. Yeah, I like that word. You have to be depositing things into me instead of withdrawing and draining and sucking the life out of me, right? And and I don't equal that. I don't make that equal to me being feminine or not. You know, And just having respect me, and I'm going to respect you. I think that, the way society and culture is today, we keep trying to put a label on everything and say, oh, well, a woman can't do this and a woman can't do. That's why I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, I'm starting to understand why some people be like, yo, you men keep complaining about women so much. Y'all need to be with each other, and you have some who they confide more in their friends than they do their woman at home. You know what I mean? Now you say what you want to say about that. Somebody might say they DL. Somebody else might say, I don't know. But it's like, me personally, I don't really know too many men that just love being with other men all the time. If you can't come home and confide, like you can't come and you can't confide in the person that you're with to, although we all should guard our hearts with all due diligence. Even the Bible says that out of your heart is the reflections of life. So with that being that, and we know that that's what that is, right? It's, you get out what you put. Like, what's your heart posture when you're doing these things? Nobody meets somebody and just typically say, "Oh, I want to be a butthole." You do have some people who some women don't know how to not be in a relationship, right? So because they don't know how not to be in a relationship, or they've always been in a relationship, when you get with them, they're going to treat you with care, even if you're just a booty call. We talked about it a couple shows ago, how that becomes an issue. I'm not going to treat you, any less than, right? But if you get smart with me, if you are disrespecting me, then yeah, now I have to meet you where you are. And that doesn't mean that us as women, we are masculine and we are toxic. Like, let's really unpack it and get into what's really going on. Let's see. Is Draco out here making a mess? I think Draco has just did something. 1 second. Let me go to this comment. Yo, I think Draco, sidebar, I think he just got mad and he bust open my bag. Look, I'm going to go to the comments. Look, sidebar, he's knocking at the door, y'all. I told y'all don't believe me. He's going to open this door in a minute. All right, Benita says, I've heard that before. I don't know why we are labeled like that. If I had to guess, it's because we will run over us and we get tired. And when enough is enough, we have to let it be known, and we can't be gentle with that because we won't be taken serious. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like we all need to get some standards, and just, I said this, I've been saying this over the years for a long time. There are things that men show and teach us that we definitely can use to our advantage. Okay, we definitely can use it to our advantage. I'm gonna get him. What? Wait a minute, you guys. Ponder on that. Hey, Scenario, you guys. Give me 1 second, because Draco is tearing things up. Draco, what are you doing? Come here. Come on. I'm leaving. Here, come on. Here. Come get this. Got you. Got him. Got you. You can't do that. She left here. Yo, you got me. All right, y'all. I am back. We are back. He got mad because she left him. All right, let's see. Yes, welcome to the show. Sit back and relax. So, definitely, Benita, it is like that, because I feel like we should take a page out of men's book, because what have we learned before? That a lot of the men, especially in Candi Coated Secrets, when we used to have these conversations, they've all talked about how they're not staying in relationships where there are break babies. Okay. They used to say that they aren't dealing with like the cheating thing and stuff like that, and all that other stuff. You know, certain things that a man. Hi, CJ. How are you? You're late. Andre beat all in here tonight. How are you? I'm glad you could join us. Oh, you probably like this conversation because you can chime in on the fella's behalf. But it's just one of those things where it's like, it's not about being masculine and being feminine, because even now when we have conversations or disagreements with our partners and things like that, some women are just disrespectful and they say, oh, you acting like a bitch, oh, you doing this, that, and the third. But really, ultimately, that's just not the case. I feel like, it's about reciprocation. I'll do for you, you do for me. Nobody wants to continue to be used and abused, right? So this conversation came because I was asked to give my thoughts on it. But at the time, I was like so busy that I couldn't really type so much. And I was like, why not give my thoughts on it to you guys? Um, Let me go to it. I kind of think I want to let you guys hear it. Let me let you guys hear it. Let me let you guys hear it. Okay. But yeah, it's what do you think? What do you think about that, Sanera? Yeah, I just, like I said, you're either submissive or you're not submissive. It has nothing to do with, okay, here we go. When they said women are too masculine. So I was tagged in this post to give my opinion on this post, right? And basically she's just speaking of, there's nothing wrong with a woman operating in her masculine bag if that's what she has to do, because men have standards, we need to have standards and all of that other stuff and things like that. And it's not even, I don't even want to say that it's probably even a masculine bag. Maybe it's more of like a defense mechanism, right? Nobody wants anybody to play with them. You just like what we say like a couple weeks ago, people be knowing who to play with. people be knowing who to play with and who not to play with, okay? But then you also have some people that will just play forever. Or as Trumanda always say when she comes on the show, a man will roll the dice. A woman will roll the dice. You'll know that you don't want any children. You'll say you don't want any kids. You don't want things out of this certain situation, but you running up in shorty without a condom on and you blowing up the club, and vice versa. She ain't on no birth control. Y'all ain't using no condoms. You won't get no vasectomy. Y'all gonna roll the dice every single time. A man is gonna roll the dice every single time. Women do it all the time. You see him taking care of his other children, so you assume that you gonna give him a baby and he gonna take care of yours. It's like the circle. It's like the circle of life, jacked up circle, but that's just the way it is. And then we all get placed into this box. Now, the thing that I find interesting is that men, right, have placed, and not even just men, so I won't blame y'all, but men, right, have placed women in positions and predicaments where they had to be everything. There's a lot of single moms out here, single parent households, right, where you've had children with the person, and then the next thing you know, they turned into a completely different person after you had the children, right? Or you're left alone, you have to pay all the bills, you're trying to figure it out. Like, one thing I do know is that being a mother, you have to always have the answer. A mother has to always have the answer. So you'll have women who are basically abandoned by men, right? And we have to figure it out and take care of things and raise these kids and make sure you're not going, the wrong path, because you can raise a child as however you want them to be, but people, when they get older, they still gonna make their own choices, right? And then we meet, or where we are in a society, we have a culture now saying, oh, y'all are too strong, or you're not operating in your femininity, you're not feminine enough, you're masculine, when all you've always been placed in is in situations and predicaments where as though you are the only reliable person that you have. So the question is, does that make somebody masculine Like, how does that make you masculine? How does that make you masculine when you are left to have to figure it out? When you're left to have to figure it out. And then, based upon, right, the broken promises you got, and that's not even just like getting into, that's just one side of the coin, you know, with being a parent. Take it to the people who don't have any children but were in relationships, and you're in relationships, and you keep meeting, not even a constant meeting, right? But you meet people who don't keep their word. Take your heart, take your kind, like Benita said, take your kindness for weakness, take advantage of you, walking all over you, you know, lying to you. You can't trust them, being manipulative, telling you just enough to keep you around while they're doing what they want to do. You know what I mean? And then now you start to figure it out, and you become curious, and you're trying to figure out, like, hey, what is it? Why are you acting like this towards me? Or is there something going on that I need to know about? And somebody's just lying to you all the time for no reason. You find out they lying, you going on the phone saying they lying, or chicks calling you, and vice versa. And now, because you've helped me develop trust issues, right? Now I am masculine. It's like, who is giving these terms to people, and why is it labeled masculine and toxic? You'll have a man saying, oh, I need a woman that's going to be my peace, all the while he ain't her peace. All the while she ain't peaceful because of you, you know? So it's just, I really feel like, just overall, we are a bunch of broken vessels and broken people. That's where the saying comes from: hurt people. And we are all trying to go out here, get in relationships and do things. And then we're just bleed on people, bleed on good people who don't know when to fold, good people who don't know how to have the standards, good people who may be a little more submissive, as y'all like to call it. I call it passive. They may not speak up enough. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, one woman is not better than the other. We all have different experiences in what we have dealt with, right? And you ultimately got to know you and where you are, and if you are ready to date, and if you should even be in a relationship. A lot of the times, a lot of people giving all of these opinions, spread all this stuff about what you should do and how you should operate in a relationship. And then if you find one of their exes somewhere, their ex to tell you they was some trash. That goes for men and women. Depending on who you ask, you might got some people that may say I was some trash. I can see all day and tell you, oh, I know I wasn't no trash. And at the end of the day, I know I wasn't trash. Just because I know how the relationship went. You understand? Like, but at the same time, it's just, there are things where I can say, oh, I was not perfect in a relationship, but shoot, some of the things that occurred I didn't deserve. But you don't know what you don't know, right? I'm not a victim, I'm victorious. Y'all know how I feel about that. But ultimately, it's about living and learning. And the more you grow, and this is why doing work on yourself is so important, because now we live in a world where everybody's trying to tell you, if you defend yourself and if you speak up for yourself, or if you're not okay with your man stepping out, if you're not okay with your man bringing you home STDs, you're not okay with your man going outside making children, you're not okay with your man not coming home at night. Oh, and then you have something to say, and now she's masculine. It's like, in the real world, these are the things in the scenarios that go on. You know what I mean? Just like everybody know, everybody got I feel like old men, they got an old faithful. Everybody know how, I don't care how many people it is that you may have on your roster, you know who's on that roster that will have your back regardless. And I must say, as being a woman, that's kind of jacked up. I don't like that for us, because it's one of those things where it's though if it comes down to, when it comes to men, right, on some hand, it's like, I don't know, maybe ladies, you could tell me, ladies, y'all are out there, I don't know. But I feel like when it comes to that, It ain't too many men that you may have dealt with or that you know where you can say, I don't care who he get with, married or not. I don't care where he at, what he's doing in life. If I call him, he will be here. And it may not, and I'm not even talking about be here in a sexual way. I'm not even talking about anything like that, but like, yo, is really here. But I can guarantee you there are more men, and you may be one of them, that have a list of women where they could say, I know no matter what, this one right here, gonna be right here. And I feel like that's a little jacked up. I wanted to curse, but I caught myself. Like, what y'all think? Like, talk to me. Like, let's really get into this, you know. And it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when somebody can say, "Oh, I know." Like, even though, don't get me wrong, you know, I remember when I was having a conversation, and they said to me, "Oh, I knew you was going to reach out to me eventually. I knew you was going to reach out because that's just who you are." Like, I think that is a beautiful characteristic, right? I think that's a beautiful characteristic to have. But to be on the other end of that is like, I don't like that you know that about me. I don't like that you were able to say that because of however things were going or how they were looking. I didn't know if I would ever hear from you again, or I didn't know what it was going to be. And so it's like, and they try to say it's because we're made up as nurturers, right? And all this other stuff. But I've also been learning where men are also supposed to be like the main nurturers, but that's a whole nother show. But it's like, yo, it's kind of sad. And it's not even necessarily anything against it, right? But it's not too many where we can, like, I don't know too many people. Oh, I should call some people that could really sit here and probably name at least, could drop some sure enough, like, yo, I don't care what's going on with y'all. He gonna be there. I don't care what he got going on here with. But I believe there's more men that'll be able to say, shit, I can call such and such, and she gonna be right there. I mean, CJ, am I lying? If I'm lying, I'm flying. You're a man, you tell me. And if you guys want to call in, I dropped the link so we can have this discussion. He said, I don't know where the masculine thing came from, but women are like that for a reason. It ain't always been like that. See, and that's what I'm saying. It's not always like that. And then as a man, right, if you have emotions and you have feelings and you caring, right, and you're nurturing to your woman, what do your own male counterparts will call you soft? Matter of fact, what was that was going on a couple years ago? Oh, when Kevin Samuels was called, y'all created that word simp. Like, since when did caring about a woman, catering to a woman, not just any woman, to your woman, when did that make you become a simp? Why you gotta be labeled as soft? Why he a punk ass nigga? Like, what? And then it just goes back to the other question where it's like, yo, who raised y'all? You knew how to be caring and catering. You was trying to get this poom poom, and we was going on date after date, and I was meeting the family and doing all that. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden we're in this full-fledged committed relationship, and you don't know how to be caring. You brought me flowers when you was trying to, what they call, when you were trying to woo me, you know, when you were smitten. You ain't bought me a flower in 15 years. You know what I mean? You ain't gave me a compliment in 8 years. You ain't noticed I changed my hair. You ain't saying, oh, let's go out today. Like, let's really get into it. You notice I didn't gain weight, or I need to go work out to keep you. But as we get older and we age, I'm supposed to accept your receding hairline and your beer belly. Like, culture is a mess. I think it's more women that will be there for men unconditionally, but I'm that friend people call. Yeah, and I seen where Benita asks, like, does family count? Yeah, it does count. And it's not even necessarily all boiling down to a relationship, to an intimate relationship. This is just all of this stuff. It applies to everything, you know? You may be that one family member where everybody call on you for everything, but you can't call on nobody for nothing. Or if you do call on people for something, they may tell you they don't have it. Or if you do call on them for something, they thinking 15 times before they decide they want to give you an answer. Like this is the things that go on. This is where we are. So I don't really feel like, I think we need to get away from that old masculine stuff. Like I'm just so over CJ. I am just so over all of like these different little shows that are trying to do this rage baiting and just get quick responses and viewership. But I understand it works because it works. We see it works. The girl just made $50,000 off of sharing a story and lied, and that she made $50,000 and went through $50,000 in 2 months. Come on. That's the type of stuff that I'd be like, Lord, come on now. You just out here letting the wrong people, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's just like, yeah, we just have to make sure that you have to make sure that you are together. So that way society can't tell you what you are, what you're operating in, what you're not operating in, what you deserve, who you are. You are exactly who you think you are, but it's also about how are you operating that. How are you operating in that space? Do you know who you are, or do you answer and respond to who people tell you are? Somebody got to be a follower. Everybody can't be a leader. If everybody was a leader, half this foolishness that's going on in the world wouldn't be going on. So we know that. We know that the answer is not everybody. Everybody answer cannot be, oh, I know who I am. I remember there was upon time where I didn't know who I was. And then as you grow and you keep on going, I still continuously grow and learn every day what I deserve. You know what I mean? What I want, where I want to go, what I want to be. We don't all have it together. So no, over here, Candi Coated Secrets. No, you're a man, you're a woman. You are not. We are not masculine and operating in femininity. We ain't none of that. We over here, we just human. How about that? Okay, we're just human over here at CCS. You get smart with me, depending upon where I'm at that day. I might respond with a little grace, or you might I might snap my neck. You know what I'm saying? We're in a relationship. You treating me good. I'm treating you good. You start coming with some bull crap. Oh, I peep it, and I'm going to act and move on accordingly. I'm masculine. I'm not feminine. Mm-mm. No, I'm human. And that's what it is. We're human. We're human. And we respond. Yes, public service announcement. Okay? We human. So it's like, stop labeling it and wanting in it to be, oh, she's too masculine for me. Is she too masculine for you? Or she just ain't tolerating your bullshit? Because there's a big difference. There's a difference. We talked about this. Remember CJ, when you had called in and we were talking about how like the predatory behavior of men, and just how when you can say, oh, I can play with Mike, but I know I can't play with John. I can play with Crystal, but I know I can't play with Danielle. It is a little predatory because you're going to keep on doing what you can and moving the goalposts to see how far they're going to let you go. Okay. It's almost like you're looking for that that moment, that tick, that thing that's going to get you to be like, oh, she keep catching you cheating. What you think she going to respond with? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Do you want syrup or orange juice with your breakfast today? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I just want you to, like, this girl then walked down the altar, gave you her heart, and then she finds out you're committing adultery, and she's supposed to be like, okay, well, you know what? You were just having a bad day. Yeah, you were just having a bad day. Don't worry about it. Want to go shopping? You feel me? Or he finds out you just slept with one of his friends. You lying about where you at. You're doing things for another man that you ain't even thinking about doing for him. And he's supposed to be like, oh, that's what's up, girl. Matter of fact, I booked us a trip. You want to go to Turks and Caicos? On top of that, girl, I am going to give you $2 more on top of your allowance that I already give you each month. Or is he going to go crazy? And I ain't condoning he's supposed to be hitting you, spitting on you, beating you, or trying to kill you. What? And so now when he does that, he's feminine. Like, let's really look at this stuff that society and people are putting labels on. They're putting all of these labels on human natural reactions and responses to disrespect or respect. You can't, like, what? I don't understand. I think, hey G Dove, how are you? I think it's CVs as well. I think the whole masculine thing that came from women having to step up to responsibilities a man should be taken care of. Some women don't know how to let that guard down after. Exactly. And I just, oh my gosh, G-dubs. Shout outs to YouTube. Thank you guys for joining. And if you are over there on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button on this video. Yes, G-dub, that's fun. Like, we were just talking about that. Like, I talked about that in the very beginning. Like, it's not about you being submissive or she's not submissive or not, or he's not submissive and things like that. It's that equal reciprocation. Can I be, y'all know I hate that word safe when it comes to relationships, because it's like, well, damn, well, what it looks like when he makes you unsafe. I want to find a different word for that. We're going to turn the safe word into secure. Okay. So if you're secure in the relationship, right? When we meet people, when we go into things, we're not ultimately looking for something to go wrong. We're not ultimately going into it thinking that he or she's a liar, thinking that they have secrets. You're not even thinking about any of that because you are in a bliss. You are in a blissful state of mind. But you pay attention. Let some things shift. Let them patterns start to change. You're going to start noticing some things like, wait a minute. It's going to start sending your antennas up like, wait a minute. When you started staying at work longer than what you've been doing, when you start coming in the house not giving me a kiss and asking me how I'm doing, it's been 2 weeks and you ain't asked me how my day was. Like, you notice the changes. And now that these changes have happened, it's like, okay, hey, let's come to the table. Let's talk about it. Hey, this is what happened. You came in here on this day, that day, you didn't do this. You said that you were going to do this. You didn't do this. I gave you the money to pay the bill. You didn't pay the bill. Now we're getting a notice. It's things like that. It's things like that. Yeah, they meet a good person. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta know where you are with when it comes to certain things, because sometimes, I always say I take my hats off to the people who meet people and be like, you know what, this guy or this girl is too good for me to take her through my BS. I ain't gonna do that. It's like we all have that intuition and that discernment to know when you like that something and you go, I don't do that. Don't do it. But then you have that other side that will roll the dice and risk it all, knowing what's on the other end of that tunnel. You know what's on the other end of that tunnel. Like, I'll give an example. I remember before a long time ago when I was crazy about my baby's daddy child, because we were together for 17 years. That was like the longest relationship I ever had in life, right? And I remember when we, it finally called quits, he would always like cheat. Well, he cheated on everybody, but he was on this girl he was with, he was cheating on her. And he was cheating on her with me. Okay. And I remember when we got to a point where when he kept like, we had that on again, off again, dysfunctional shit, right? But I remember like towards the end when it was like completely done, he would still call, and every now and again his fingers get to itching. But that's another story for another day. But he would call, right? Or reach out. And I said this to him specifically. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to call people on their bull crap. Because I told you, I'm not a victim. I got to the point, thankful that, I had someone like my cousin working with me through it and getting me to learn these things, right? And I said to him, because, all his little girlfriend, she was a little punk for real. And that's back when I used to have a hand problem. And I said, this is exact the same analogy I said to him. I said, if you have a gorilla, right, and you know that you also have a spider monkey, and you know that the gorilla has no problem being a gorilla and the gorilla is ready to turn up on the spider monkey, why would you keep coming, poking, and trying to play with the gorilla when you know the gorilla don't mind airing out your dirty laundry or putting their hands and going crazy on the spider monkey? Right. Thinking about this is hilarious. This is what I said to this man. Hence AI me, I'm the gorilla. Right. Because it was like as time had went on, it was like, yo, you know, why would you even want to keep coming, trying to talk to me when you know I'm gonna tell on you? When you know I'm gonna tell, when you know I'm gonna send the messages, when you know I'm gonna send the and you know, needless to say, she ain't give a damn. She stayed with him, you know. Well, they not to give a damn, but y'all get the point. And it's just like he didn't care. He didn't care because ultimately he knew she wasn't gonna like go anywhere. But he didn't care. He didn't care if that was gonna be the case because what could he do? He could ignore me. He could not come get his kid and all that other stuff. You know, y'all know what baby daddies do. Yeah. But outside of that, the point was I had to call him out on it. But at the end of the day, I had to be the one to take the initiative to say no. No. Uh-uh. Your monkey, not my circus. But I also understood too, I didn't know that at that time, but as I was going through that, I also developed and learned that, you know, because we had that long relationship for so many years. I knew I was with him since I was 12 years old, right? And we had that long relationship all the way up until my mid 20s, right? That he's never dealt with anybody and he didn't deal with me. I never like dealt with other people and he wasn't around. So you got to think about it when you're in this large dysfunctional circle and cycle, you got to get each other's out of the system. And if one person is growing and the other one is still the same, they're going to just show up and continue to be who they were and who they are while you continue to grow and you continue to elevate. So, um with things like that, it's like we will go into things already knowing it's not going to be a good outcome. But as Trumanda always say, but a man will roll the dice every time just to see how it's going to go, just to do it, you know? And it's one of those things where you got to get in control and connect with yourself. And ultimately, you have to know what it is that you want and what you deserve. When I was with him, I was always arguing. It was always an argument. You know what I mean? It was always an argument. It was always something going on. It was like maybe one day of silence. Okay? You know, don't judge me, judge yourself, because I'm pretty sure y'all done had some relationship like that. But outside of that, you know, once I completely disconnected from that, I've also have like grown so far away from it to where as though I was able to look at it and be like, yo, this is what you was dealing with? Like, this is crazy. So it's funny because he said, yeah, man, niggas hate when they can't get over and vice versa too. Yeah. And you know, so this is funny because there's a chapter in my book, right? There's a part in exercise in my book where I tell you, you know, doing the breakup thing. It's like when you're really wanting to be done, step outside of the relationship, put your emotions to the side and really look at what's going on and watch it, you know, and sit still and watch it play out in your head, and you'll be able to see like, this is chaotic. This is not that. But dealing with all of that, that didn't make me masculine. You know what I mean? It might have made me, at that time, I was like angry and just mad and not knowing, different things. But all of that wasn't from that. That was also childhood trauma. Things that we learned and experiences, the beliefs that we're taught, and the things that happen to us that we don't understand. All that plays attention, that all that plays a part. Yeah, it can make you guarded. I love that word, G Dub. I think that was the best. That was one of the best words. Like, we are all guarded. Some may be guarded with 4 King Corsos and 18 pit bulls. And then some may be guarded with 2 Shih Tzus and a Chihuahua. You know what I mean? And then some may be guarded with a little poodle. Outside the gate, okay, taking guard. And then some people may not have a guard at all, and it may show up in a different way. But at the same time, when you go through life and you go through experiences, life teaches you. You can't trust everybody. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody doesn't have good intentions. Everybody don't have your best interest at heart. So can we really blame the person? Or can we just be human and look at life and the circumstances and the situations that we've been in? It's almost, it's even like people who are like predators. At once upon a time, they were preyed upon. Yeah, you can say, oh, well, they should know better and people should know better. And I never condone it, Yeah, they should know better. People should know better. You know not to do this. You know not to do that. But when you are traumatized and you're responding how you're responding, your brain is responding to what happened to you at whatever age these things happened to you. Oh, he or she's overly promiscuous. Maybe she was touched. Maybe she was not. Maybe she has something going on where as though she may not really care and love herself and she's just trying to escape. I just seen online where an 18-year-old girl, she has like, I don't want to say she's special needs, but she's a little delayed. She's 18. She's 18 now. I think her brother is like 19. They just came and locked up her. They just came and locked up her brother, her mother, and her father because she just gave birth to her brother's baby. Right? And I seen where people were like, oh, of course, how people do in the comments. Oh, the whole family looks slow. They all look like something is wrong with them. Oh, nobody knew. How didn't nobody know? And it's just like, but that happens every day. That happens every day. People take advantage of people who are in different states of minds. I don't know how it could have happened, but this is why we can't be always leaving the older kids to watch the little kids. Some people have 10, 15, 11 kids. No shade. I don't know what happened, but you see Krishan, her life is on public display. It comes out that stuff went on in her family. It was 11 of them. Then you had her nephew who came out saying that things was done to him. Kids shouldn't be watching other kids because kids get curious. Kids get curious. Kids do things. Things happen. And this is why we have to do better. How you even have women who get into relationships with men. Case in point, alert. Nazaya Harris, right? Y'all remember that case? 13 years old, end up pregnant by her aunt's baby daddy and boyfriend, Jarvis, right? Come to find out, Jarvis had told all of them women that he was with that he was a sex offender. He never showed up lying about it. Never showed up lying about it. And he always preyed on women with children. And he had like 3 or 4 kids with Nazia's aunt and ended up getting Nazia pregnant. I still think the aunt had something to do with that little girl being, unalived. But they knew about it. And the grandmother was sending all the kids, including his kids, to the shop to do chores and help them clean up the auto shop. Right? So if you may have something like that happened, right? Or let's say you are this young lady's mom or something or anything similar, anything like that. And then, or let's say she made it out of it, you're right, and grow up. And now she's like overly protective of her children. She want to know everything. She got to do this. And, to get into a relationship with her, she is scouting you down for everything. Is she masculine? Does that make her masculine? Half of the time, these people today, everybody is living for the internet. These pop in, pop out relationships, these microwavable situations. Nobody's really staying long enough to really get to know said person that they're with. The minute you do something wrong, they leaving you alone, or they out here getting to the next best thing that they think is good. Nobody's really getting to know somebody. But if you were really getting to know her, right? Like, let's say she grew up, you would understand why she is the way she is. You wouldn't add to that. But some people would. People don't know what they want until they get tired. Exactly. And the best way to know what you do want is when you're able to know what you don't want. When you know what you don't want, you know exactly what you do want. And so overall, it's just one of those things where it's like everything doesn't deserve a masculine or feminine name to it. You know what I mean? Like, even for men who like certain things sexually, whatever that may be. You can't even as a man like your nipples to be licked without them saying you're gay. But I believe that gets looked at like that because certain things we automatically go to, a woman, thinking that a woman is the only one that can have nipples. Thinking that women are the only ones who can have sensation in nipples. We overlook the fact that the nipples, the body of how you're made up, the anatomy, it's sensitive on everybody. But somehow we equal that to, well, if the man like his nipples licked, then he is just gay. It's like, what are you talking about? Now we have it now where, if a man drinks out of a straw, a man can't drink out of a straw. A man can't have feelings. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this might be a little bias. A man can't smoke hookah. Now, I might got a little bias on that one because I don't know too many, not too many male men that I know smoke hookah, right? There may be some who do smoke hookah, but I don't really know. But all my males that I do know that smoke hookah, you take that how you want. You know what I'm saying? CJ, what? CJ said, wait, what y'all talking about now? I just came back and all I heard was nipples. We're talking nipples. How they try to say that if a man that like his nipples suck, he's gay. Like, no, a nipple is a nipple and nipples are sensitive, no matter who it is on. Okay. So, I mean, I think too, what it is, we live in a culture where everybody is just looking at something so that we can have something to say about it, but we're looking at it from a responsive perspective. Like, we're looking at things to respond versus what they are. You know what I mean? Versus what they are. So it's like, what's associated with it? Just like if you like, they say what? If you like Hennessy, you ghetto. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when they were saying that women who like Hennessy were ghetto? Now, I love Hennessy. I ain't had some in a minute. I ain't ghetto, but I can be. I'm bougiado, but okay. Like it's just like every single thing has a label to it. And it's like, yo, no. We even live, don't get me wrong, and everybody has their own little thing, but we live in a world, and these are things that we're taught. Like people literally are upset because other people are in same-sex relationships. Like, how are you upset that that other people are in the same sex relationship, or your kid is in the same sex relationship, or your mother's in the same sex relationship? It ain't got nothing to do with you. But you know what? Ultimately, a lot of that stuff boils down to the fact that we, the people, care what other people are going to say about us. You care how your family and your friends are going to view you. Hell, you're not comfortable because you have your own judgment about it. And is it even the judgment that you have about it, or is this judgments and beliefs that you were taught? And don't get me to it. When everybody like to go to the Bible when trying to reference something, as though they have a squeaky clean background. We live in a world where, well, your sin is your sin is worse than my sin. Well, the Bible says that all sins are equal. So guess what? If I'm popping coochie, if I'm licking on poom poom, and you sucking on alligator tails, guess what? Or you didn't go when you committed murder, or you're lying, or you didn't committed adultery, or you didn't got your ears pierced, and you didn't fornicated before marriage. Guess what? You sin too. Guess what? I see you there. Or it's just one of those things where it's like, well, my sin is better than your sin, although we both sin. With all due disrespect, shut the hell up. But this is the way of the world, okay? This is the way of the world. You gotta let people live and mind your business. And I, you know what I say, when we leave here, we leaving by ourselves. We're leaving by ourselves. How did you treat people? What did you do? Okay. They wanted to stone that lady for sleeping with that married man. And what did Jesus show up and do? I believe he wrote there. I believe when he told him that he would I was send cast that first stone. And ain't nobody cast that stone, because I believe he sat there and when Dante walked up, he let Dante see what he did that he could have been judged for. Bridget seen what she did. Elizabeth seen what she did. Tracy seen what she did. Darius saw what he did. Mike saw what he did. Larry saw what he did. Gary saw what and had to walk away and not stone that lady. AKA, don't nobody got no room to talk. Nobody got no room to talk about nobody. Nobody. All you can do is worry about you and be the best version of you. Be the best version. I'm sure if you open up your closet, it's some things you should do, or some things that you did where somebody can judge you for it. It's some things that you done, or some thoughts you thought that probably should have landed you in prison. Let's talk about it. It's some laws you done probably broke today, or on a daily basis. You just ain't get caught for it yet. Let's talk about it. But you better than the next person that got caught. Okay. You done had babies out of wedlock, and I done had babies out of wedlock. Oh, but now you got married, and you done had babies with your husband. That don't eliminate the little bastards you had before that. Now you better than. Like we really have to stop that. I don't know why people are like that. Yes, we all sin and we all fall short. Okay, right here, people say they have no judgment zone, but they are the first to judge. Absolutely. And then they forget that when you pointing a finger at somebody else, guess what? It's three pointing back at you. Even, and that's the one thing and that is the one thing that, don't get me wrong. People always use things to make it fit them and apply to them. But that is even in the good book too. When you judge somebody else, you judging yourself. And you're not supposed to judge nobody else. That's why for me, it's like I developed and I became more understanding as to why people do the things that they do. Even if it's some things I don't agree with. It's some things that I probably do that people don't agree with. Before I became better, before I started doing the work on myself, I've said that to you guys. Like, it's some things that I did. I'm not gonna say that I'm not proud of, because I don't really regret anything, and I ain't never really did too much that was like that jacked up to people. But at the same time, I wasn't always the nicest. I wasn't. I always had something to say, you know. And then as you grow and you get better, then you also have the people that'll be like, oh, now you do this. Oh, now you don't do this. Oh, now you don't argue. Oh, now you into this. Oh, now you read. Oh, now you want to do that. Yeah. So what? So what? Just embrace the growth. But you don't even have to embrace my growth, because I'm embracing my growth. And if it makes you feel better to try, because I look at those things as little digs. Or like if you go to church, oh, now you go to church. If you ever see anybody who didn't go to church, who wasn't going to church, and then they go to church, there's always somebody like, oh, now they go to church, they acting funny. Why do we even use that as a statement? Why can't the statement be, oh, dang, no, he's changing his life, so he moves a little differently. That's what's up. Why it gotta be, oh, now he go to church, he don't try to hang out no more? Why it gotta be that? Why can't it be said like that? And I feel like those are the little digs and the little stigmas that, low key subconsciously get placed to make it look like, believing and wanting to do the right thing and live differently is an issue. Almost just like how they say, oh, if you're single, what did he say? If you're single, then you're miserable. Or like single was something bad to be. What? When damn near most of the people that I knew at once upon a time and know shit are in relationships and miserable. But the single person is the problem. Go to sleep every night without a fright, peacefully. And the single people are the problem. We now have it where as though if you're single, people will say, oh, there's something wrong with you. Oh, you what's wrong with you that nobody did this? It's like, well, why does that have to be something wrong with me? Why does that have to be something wrong with you? Why couldn't it be that? Oh no, maybe, as they say, the masculinity. Oh, because I don't put up with no bull crap. And then especially at this big grown age, but I have learned that the age is truly nothing but a number, because you have some big grown kids out here, for real. Just because you 40, just because you 50, just because you 60 does not mean you are mature and you are grown. It doesn't mean that. It means you're just growing in age, but your mindset is still immature. It's still developing. You're 40 and 50 years old, still making stupid decisions like you're 25. But said women who are growing and learning and developing are the masculine ones in the problem. Something wrong with women who don't want to deal with foolishness. Okay. But I also blame us women when it comes to certain things as well, because I told you, for one, what we talked about last week, a woman will lie to herself to continue to deal with you. I don't know why these men be out here lying, but hey, they do. I think some of them just can't, they just can't help it. I feel like people who just lie and just can't, like I say, you talking to somebody else? You seen the people? No. Knowing damn well that they'd be talking to somebody else. Or you just left Brenda house? No, 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 no. What, you gonna get in trouble? What we talked about a couple months ago? If you gotta lie, you ain't really him. If you gotta lie, you ain't really him. I say all the time, I'm always the realest one on the team. Like, I'm always more honest than the dudes. But shout out to my baby father. He taught me that because you know what I say. Y'all know what I like to say. It's a learned behavior. When you have somebody who lied to you, you don't have no reason to be a liar. It's like, oh, okay, well, let me be honest. Because there was a point where, as though I knew what he was doing, that I was still right there. Like, okay, okay, this is what we on today. So it's like, all right. And outside of that, it's just that prior to even being in a relationship, I was even honest as a kid. Like, I would be in school and tell on myself. I would tell what I did, what you did, this did, because it's like, well, what am I gonna be? And so now that we are all at this big grown age, we should not be lying. What are we lying for? What are we lying about anything for? You might not like what somebody say. You might not like what they do, but ultimately, right? Ultimately, honesty is key. You get and here in this, and you guys might not, y'all might be like, how does this work? What is this? Think about it. If you meet a person and they are married and they tell you they are married, you have some people who still will do it. Yeah, because they can get away with it. Because they think they can get away with it. You might be able to get away with it with the person, right? You may have gotten with it today, but spiritually, you ain't getting away with it because he keeping track of everything you're doing. So we never get away with it. Here, down here, the human us, we can get away with some stuff because you may think some shit that slid past him or something that slid past her, but you ain't never getting away with it. Or that karma spins the bin, you know? Karma gonna come right back around. It comes right back around. And so it's one of those things where it's like when you meet somebody and they tell you, oh yeah, I'm married, you're gonna be like, all right, because she already know. Some of them anyway. We ain't talking about the ones that fall in love with the married men. But like, oh, okay. All right, what's up? I ain't gonna do with that. Y'all heard what sister say. She like 9 to 5. I'm the weekend. Wait. I just need him. What she say? Tuesday, Wednesday. What she say? Saturday. So I don't know. I can't even think of the toxic song. What you heard sister say? Say you got a girl. Why you got a girl? She said she only wanted you on the weekend. That's it. So when you meet somebody and they say, I'm married, and somebody say, okay, I'm still gonna take this ride, she already got in her mind. She don't want nothing from that. She ain't nothing coming out of that. She ain't going to not talk to you because you're married. She may limit herself on falling in love with you, giving you so much access. She may do that, but she gonna still rock with you and still see you if that's what she wants to do. And the first thing that they say is, oh, well, why are you still dealing with her? Or why are you still dealing with him? Did you know he was married? Yeah. And she done treated that married man like the best man on the planet. I'm telling you. I am telling you. He can get anything. She ain't got no issues. It ain't no problem. You know, people, this is what people have to realize. Like, you may not like what somebody say. You may not even like that they told you about it. But when somebody is honest with you, you have no choice but to respect it. It is a whole different level that comes with somebody who is honest. An honest person telling you straight exactly what it is. And I'm not talking about somebody who started off being honest and then they stopped, and then, or we're being honest midway through and then now we're doing things in this. Because no, somebody who's been honest from the very beginning is because you're not taking my choice away. See, when you have to take somebody away to get them to deal with you, date you, or be with you, or think about making a move with you, it's already set up to fail because you're not going into it being honest. Even if people showed up like, look, I lie. I might tell you I'm here somewhere I'm not. I bring everybody around my family. I got like 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? I like to hang out, go outside in the street, but you're gonna have a good time with me. I'm not selfish. I do this, I do that. It's gonna be somebody that may be like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with that. No, thank you. It was nice to meet you. Sure, I'm here. But then you will have somebody that'll be like, all right. Because there's always going to be that one person that think that they can change you. So somebody's going to do it. But I believe that a lot of us as humans don't show up being honest from the very beginning is because we're afraid of rejection and we don't even know who we really are. That's just how I feel. That's just my thoughts. Because when you know who you are, when you know what you're capable of, when you know what you come with, when you accept you, I think it's because we also don't fully accept us. When you fully accept you, there is nothing you can do to any man or woman who fully accepts themselves for who and what they are. You will not be able to move them. Oh, I think you stuck up. Oh, I think you acting funny. Oh, I think you this. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for thinking. Thank you for thinking. I am that. Okay. So are we still going to have drinks? Like, or is this the end of the date? You know what I mean? And then they'll be like, oh, she's masculine. She ain't feminine. She ain't submissive enough. Nah. See, the issue is when people meet people who are confident, when you are confident, like confidence adds a whole different layer to a person, right? A confident person, if you think I'm lying, I'm telling you, next time you out or you're around somewhere or you see people, right? A confident person moves a certain kind of way. Confident people don't flinch when somebody else that may be more attractive or have more walk into a room or can sit down and have a conversation with anybody. Like when you're confident, you'll wear it. Sounds pretty accurate. Okay. When you're confident, you're not letting nobody show up and tell you who you are. You'll listen to what somebody's opinion is. You're entitled to your opinion, but you'll be like, okay, thanks for sharing. Or you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. And I think that's what causes the issue sometimes to date in relationships is because us as people, we grow every 7 years and we evolve and we just grow daily and naturally anyway. That the problem is we don't know how to adapt and adjust and get to know people while they're growing. You got to get to know people like I used to like salmon. I love salmon. I done had salmon so much that I can't stand it now. If we're together and you say, hey, I got you some stuffed salmon, it's going to be like, oh, I wish you would have called because I'm sick of salmon. I'm not even eating it anymore. It's like, oh, then you get upset. Oh, all you had to do was eat it because you need to be appreciative. No, mother freaker. Why don't you know and haven't gotten to learn the side of me that no longer likes salmon? Now we're having an argument because you're thinking I'm inconsiderate or I don't care and I'm this because you bought me salmon and I don't want to eat it. Right? True. Listen to this. Now y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Don't get me wrong. If it's free, it's for me. But I feel like you can still have an opinion about free stuff. Right? Case, listen to this. Let me know? Do you guys think can you still have an opinion about free things? If you're out and you are given free drinks, right? Are you able to say, oh, I didn't like this drink to the bartender. If someone buys you a drink, are you able to say, oh, thank you, but I don't drink martinis? Or are you supposed to just accept the free things that are given to you when you're out? I want somebody to answer that question. Because listen, what you say? And you definitely do. I definitely do what? Listen, right? I was out. My nephew, we were out, right? And this is what I'm saying. This is how it is all the way around. And we had gotten some free drinks at the bar, some free shots. And I can't quite remember how everything had transpired, but I think he ate the bartender something. He asked the bartender something, and something he was like, "What's that? Was that drink?" I was like, "Oh yeah, what was the name of that shot that you gave us?" And he was like, "Oh, that was such a." I said, "Oh, I didn't like that." Right? I drank it. Right? I drank. I think I drank it. I drank it. I think I drank it. Um, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't like that." Right? And my nephew was so mad. He was like, "You're not supposed to tell somebody when they give you something free that you don't like it." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." Right? For what? I didn't ask for it. Your nephew said that was rude, Tiki. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So I see she was there. I didn't drink it. See? I said, what? He said, you were not supposed to say that you didn't like it and you were supposed to drink it. I said, I know you fucking lying. No, I'm not. It was free. You didn't pay for. I don't care if it's free. If I don't like it, I am not drinking it. If you give me something and it's free and it doesn't taste well, cute gesture, try again. You know? But wait a minute, y'all might say I ain't operating in my femininity. Okay? But the whole point of the matter is, I want to know. Like, I don't care if it's free. I still have a standard. Okay? I still know what I want, what I like. Another point. Listen, listen, listen. Y'all can learn something. You got to know what you know. You like what you like. Another time, we were at the bar and it was like karaoke, and the people, if you played the game or something, the people um, had to buy you a shot if you got it right. We had got like all the questions right, right? And so the person beside you had to buy you a drink. She said, I don't accept everything, but some I will accept, and I will look at the person and say thank you. Okay. Okay, right? Well, good, Vanina. And the girl, she was having to buy my drink. She had to buy me a shot because I had got the questions right, right? So it's not for me, I'm an equal opportunity. It's not a sex thing. It's not a woman, not a man thing. It's not a femininity. It's a I know what I want thing. Like I'm not settling, not even for a shot. Right? She said, "Oh, I'm gonna get you a shot." So she got me the shot, right? So I'm down there talking. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And she was like, "Oh, this is what did she give me?" It was some shot she got me. And I said, "Oh, I don't drink that." Right? I said, for real, for real. I said, "I don't drink that." I said, how you buying me a shot? How you responsible for my shot? But you ain't even asked me what I drink, right? Now that I'm sitting here talking to y'all right now, there's a voice saying, "Well, bitch, how you know what I could afford what you was about to choose to drink?" I don't know. That ain't my problem. But right, But she said, "Oh, well, what do you want?" Because she had Blanco and I had one in Reposado. And I said, "Oh, I want this such and such Reposado." And she was like, "Oh, okay, well, get it." She was a great sport. She let me get it. But the point is, she was a woman. She was a woman. And yeah, I won this game and you supposed to buy me a shot, but you ain't going to volunteer what I'm going to drink. Drink. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I am exactly who I feel I am. Okay. CJ said, where you get that rule from? Listen, I wish he would answer the phone because nephew definitely said you are not supposed to turn nothing down if somebody offers you something that is free. I want to see if he'll answer the phone, right? But I mean, and it wasn't like a huge argument. Of course, that's my baby, but it was just like, yo, you're not gonna tell me. And I told him, I said, and that's your problem. I said, you need to get better and be like that. Don't just keep eating and drinking stuff that you don't even like just because somebody give it to you. What you say? She said you only operate in honesty and it be at a time. So girl, listen. What they say, I only know how to show up and be myself. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. You're not just giving me anything because you're paying for it. No, I'm dead serious. I don't like that. So, and then somebody else, we had one so much, and the same person, another person. I'm like, oh no, you gotta give me this. This is what I drink. Oh, okay, yeah, we not doing that. What you say? She said you definitely did. You didn't care. You wanted what you drink. Okay. And so it's like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, no, if you're gonna give me, get me something or give me something, at least ask me. I can't stand, I don't know about you, but I can't stand when somebody gets me something that I did not ask for. You know what I'm saying? She said, you're absolutely right, Miss Moore. For real, like I don't like that. Like, so I don't even play with my intake. So if I don't even play with my choice of alcoholic beverage, what makes you think I'm gonna play with my choice of nigga? Listen, treat me proper, okay? He said, Responsado not blanco, don't play with us at all. Okay? At all. I don't even remember what it is that I don't even remember what it is that what she had brought me. But I know when she brought it, I was like, I know you lying. I don't drink that. I don't drink that. And she changed it. She definitely changed it, and it was cool. Needless to say, I left a little lit. Man, we had a time was had that day, okay? But we have to get out of we have to get out of that labeling everything femininity and you're not feminine or you masculine, you're not doing this. No, we're not that. We're just human. And I'm gonna give you what you give me. You know what I'm saying? If I know you're gonna spend some money on me, I'm gonna spend some money on you. If I know you ain't doing nothing for me, I ain't doing nothing for you. I'm not submissive. I'm not masculine because of that. And I feel like, a lot of the times, people are sitting on these platforms and they're talking about this stuff and they're doing this stuff and they don't even know what's going on with them. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be sitting home and they probably the most submissive or feminine, masculine that they want to be. Come on now, what happened? Beyonce talking about if he like it, then he would have put a ring on it. Don't be mad at me, girl. He want it. And JT and them talk about, scamming and getting go after the dudes with the bags and be a city girl whole time. These hoes is in relationships. Stop believing the music. Beyonce was married, telling y'all go out here, oh, I'm a single lady. She was not single. She was not single the first. She shouldn't even been singing the record. But it worked. Okay, exactly, Sanara. I reciprocate energy. Exactly. Okay. Let go and let flow. You guys, oh my God. But as I was saying, this was good. I had a great conversation with you guys tonight. But oh my goodness, I cannot believe that we will be Candi Coated Secrets is officially turning 8 years old Friday. Woo! We are turning 8 years old Friday. I talked about it earlier, but I cannot believe it that we have been turning 8. We are turning 8 years old. Yes. That is just so crazy. It's I love this topic. We are going to have to chat about this. Yes, absolutely. Y'all know I'm down for a good conversation, because we have to do it. We have to. I feel like with a lot of things, we stay in things too long. We don't know when to fold. We want to put our best foot forward in some situations, and in some situations, it's like, you know what, it's right. It may hurt. I may cry. I may miss you, but guess what? Life and love don't stop with you. Okay, get some standards. Put your foot down. Stop staying because you got a house, and stop staying because you got the kids. Let go, let flow. What you saying? Now the little girl by we were big fags. We reciprocate. You know what I say? Let me see what you gonna do for me before I do for you. Okay? Happy birthday. Okay? Listen. And it's one of those things. It's like, I think when you know yourself and you know what you're capable of, like when I'm in a relationship, when I'm in love, like there is not anything that I would not do for my person. You know what I mean? Once upon a time I would be in love. They say love is blind and it can take over your mind. What you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate and find. Love is blind. Love is truly and can be blind. Okay? And it's just one of those things where we just allow the wrong situations and we stay in situations and things and people and places, even if it's friendships, family ships, relationships that come along and tarnish and damage what we have, okay, and what we feel it should be. And we got to rise above that and get over that, because it's somebody out here that will treat you right. It's somebody out here. You are somebody's prayer. Somebody is praying for you. Somebody is praying for you. Now, I don't know if said person that's praying for you is also praying for the capacity to be able to recognize and keep you and handle you when the good thing land on a doorstep. But somebody is praying for you. And I like to look at it, and I want you all to know that we are all somebody's prayer. Don't allow a couple disappointments, a couple heartbreaks, a couple, jacked up childhood memories in life, or jacked up jobs, or, even losing loved ones make us forget who we are and that somebody is praying for us. Somebody is praying for you. You know what I mean? And be great. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you. Happy anniversary. Yes. Oh my goodness, you guys. We will be turning 8 years old on Friday. We'll be turning 8 years old on Friday. And I always usually do something to dedicate that. And I'm always trying to do maybe plan a huge thing. But no, I was my friend, she said, won't you just celebrate you this year? Not the business. Don't focus on all of this. Celebrate you, Candace, you, the person. Okay. And I was like, what a great idea. Right? And just to let you guys know, like we were discussing earlier, I don't know if I'm going to continue to do the show on Facebook because Facebook has begun to delete videos, but I am going to try to decide. You guys, we have to vote. You guys have to let me know. Are we going to stay on Facebook or just strictly go to YouTube? You know, and if you're someone who says, hey, strictly go to YouTube, then I'm going to need you to show up and bring your to YouTube. Okay, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, make sure you're here. Thank you for all the engagement, I appreciate that. Now the daggone girl, she didn't scam these people out again. And you know, God has just been showing me so many things. I was talking to my friend earlier before I started the show, and I just was like, so many different things. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it looks like, you guys, but you know, without y'all, we really couldn't have did it. And I just want to go over a little bit because I know I'm gonna put it on like posts and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just like relishing in that. We are turning 8 years old. We are turning 8 years old. And I had been doing so much. I was a few years ahead. Like I'm like, oh, I'm about to go into year 10, year to this. And I had to sit back, like, girl, sit back and really look at everything. We are turning 8 years old. We will be entering our going into our ninth year. Okay. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm grateful for what you guys have helped me build and continue to build, even on the days that I didn't feel like I was going to be able to do it. Even times when life happened and I went through that life turning point where I didn't want to, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Thank you guys for being here with me as I tried to find my voice again after losing my cousin, my friends and stuff who were close to me knew I lost my voice. And I remember talking to my friend specifically on the phone with her a couple years ago in 2024. And I was like, I don't think I know what to say. I don't think I have anything to say. For the first time in my yo gabba gabba life, I don't have anything to say. I don't think I can do it. Okay, I think that's it. It was like she died and she took my voice, she took everything with her, right? And I'm still here, you know, and I'm just wanted to give a recap over the 8 years. You know, the first year, you guys, I know, yo, I'm always trying it out. You guys are with me while I'm trying it out, and I'm doing these different things, and I'm not knowing. You know, I started this thing out being engaged, child, and then ended up not being engaged, and then, you know, it went through these little breakups and heartbreak while still pushing. The business the first year I was like unemployed. I say I was homeless, and during the first year, and then I had this friend who came along and allowed me to start Candi Coated Secrets in his house. I was bringing people in his house, and I'm just grateful for that. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I'm self-taught. Then year 2 came. We were here. COVID happened. Boom, right in the height of me starting to build a platform. COVID came and took over, shut things down. Yeah, things was online. Yeah, it was more viewership and activity and things like that. And when I was dwelling in a different part of the platform, and we did a lot of giveaways. We gave away food, Thanksgiving, sent couples on dates. We did the raffles. We had the tarot card readers coming on. We had all the dating shows, and that was really fun in year 2. Year 3, I can't even remember. Year 3 was after COVID, like pre-COVID. We had the cookout and everybody came, and you guys showed up. You brought the tickets. I didn't know how that was going to go, and you guys came and stayed in the middle of the tornado and the middle of the storm to celebrate with me. I truly appreciated it. The food was good. We had a great time. Shout outs to Antoine. Antoine had won when he came. He won the game. He beat everybody and won like $43 and had gave me the $43. It was just so cool. I had just went got my makeup and my hair and stuff done. So yes, I will possibly, I don't know. Should I be flooding memories? Should I take us down memory lane online? I don't know. But I'm just grateful for that. And then year 4 is where I celebrated with my friends, just pushing through. I got Draco. Year 4, I got Draco as a gift. Draco was a gift to me during year 4. And it was just phenomenal, just getting through everything. And you guys were donating and helped me. You guys, years 2 and 1 helped me get my camera. showed up with the donations so that I could start getting the stuff for my show and things like that. Shout outs to the big homie that bought me the iPad so that I could go ahead and do. Shout out to Will Smith, who had gave me like different monitors, mic, stuff that helped me along the way. Marcel, who was in Vegas, who taught me different streaming and different techniques of what to do and how to lock in and connect with other businesses so that I could go out live and do my show from people's businesses. And then year 5, I lost my cousin. And you guys still showed up to the anniversary. It was a beautiful anniversary. Was it as packed as I would have liked it to be? No, but once she passed away, it was like I didn't really care, but I was still grateful that you guys showed up and we had a good time and that I pushed through. I just knew I had to finish that. Year 6, you guys have been here with me. Benita has been here. Benita's been like the moderator. I think Benita started being the moderator. I know you were the moderator, started being the moderator before my cousin passed away. My cousin passed away in 2023. But prior to that, and Benita was consistent even when I was not, and you guys, I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love, the donations, the Patreons, the Cash Apps you guys send me. The donations, if you go into the website and you would like to donate, because I'm not going to do any more GoFundMe's. I do need tables and stuff like that. But any other donations from the website, and just was able to build that website. And I went from not making any money on social media for years, right? You know how they say after 5 years is when you start to make your money and all things like that. But I didn't really start making any money until year 7. And I just trying to give you guys like the timeline of that. And here we are approaching year 8, and I received, the different donations. You guys would show up and do different things throughout the years. But, social media, they'll pay you, you get a little coin from social media. I went from getting 1 cent, 2 cent to no dollar, to a few dollars from social media. And that was dope. I went from not getting consistent donations or having consistent Patreons, and to having it. And I appreciate everybody who has contributed, even with you guys watching it, even with, the 860 subscribers on YouTube to over the 5,600 on Instagram, and to the over the 1,000 or so that's on TikTok, and even the people who are in the Facebook group, which is over 2K, and I'm not even as consistent. But shout outs to Benita for being the consistency that I didn't know that I needed at the time when I couldn't find a way to be consistent, and Benita has been here and rocking, and hey, are you doing a show today? What's going on? And she don't know too much about a lot of the stuff from social media. So the fact that she was willing to even be an open vessel to learn and help. The video premiere, we did the video premiere. I almost forgot the video premiere of my music video. Oh my gosh, how did I almost forget that? You guys who came out to that was a special invitation thing, but you guys who actually came out to premiere the music video with me, I truly appreciate that. And here we are. And then year 7, right? Year 7 is when I started to make a coin, where God allowed me to full-time live in my business and experience that and see what that's like. And I ain't gonna lie, 2025 was a great year, got laid off and all that other stuff, but I was able to dive straight head into Candi Coated Secrets, and he allowed me to see what it would look like to live from my business. And I got a little dosage, a little taste of that, and so I'm grateful, shout outs to God, God first for allowing me to even be able to experience that. I know that there are times where I seem like I'm not grateful and I'm not appreciative, and I can complain, but I want you to know, forgive me for that, because sometimes I get lost in what I don't see and just the experiences of life, to where as though I forget all the greatness and all the things that you've given to me. So I love you from the bottom of my heart, Lord Jesus Christ. You are my Lord and Jesus Savior, okay? And I am grateful that you gave me a vision and a platform, and I'm going to continue to do my best to trust that you are going to bring it to fruition. Just because as I look around, that I am living in one of my prayers that you've answered, many prayers that you've answered. I have a studio in my home, and here's though, no, yes, I did have to go back and try to find, get a job. Because again, my business does operate off of the income and stuff of other people. But I'm so grateful that you even gave me the opportunity to experience that. And I know that when your time is right, you will have it bust open. You are going to bust it open. So I am forever humble, and I'm forever grateful, and forgive me for any time that I may not act like it and I don't see it. Forgive me for that. Um, yeah, y'all. I was about to go. I had to. I got to thank the big man. Okay, so I just let y'all in. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful for that. And so I did. While I was working for myself, having to live off of my income that I was bringing in from my business. I said all that to say that there was once upon a time where there was $0. Coming in, not even 15 cents. And I just have nothing but like my faith and just really the support of you guys to do it. And you guys have been helping. I've had to cash out that Patreon a few times along the way, and just doing that by him giving me the opportunity to see what it would be like to fully work for myself. I didn't know that he was going to say, girl, go ahead, plant that in me to want to go buy a house and do different things. And you guys, I'm that person, whereas though I was applying and looking for houses, and all I had was my little income, for my business. And you would have thought that I had a million, trillion, $100,000. So I'm out here like, yeah, I'm gonna go get this house right here for $285. True story. I did that, and then it was like, okay. And the mortgage guy is like, hey, listen, can we? You gotta go get another job so you can have this as another income, and this. But I'm just great. I'm grateful that he made me that way, and I was so like focused on the business aspect of it that for a moment, you guys, you probably wouldn't believe it, but it wasn't until now. It wasn't until 3 days ago, going into this 8th year approaching, where I realized that Candi Coated Secrets is me. I used to look at it like it was something separate from me. Like, okay, well, this is my business, and this is the person, and this is this, and what is we doing? But Candi Coated Secrets is me. My resilience, my strength, my not giving up, my faith, my hard work, my tears, just simply believing in something that he taught me, and then something that he showed me, and then something that he poured into my cousin to open my eyes to get me to see this. And I'm grateful, and I'm appreciative to that. And without you guys, I wouldn't be able to to do it. So yeah, I had to stop worrying about who was tuning in. I had to stop worrying about who was sharing my stuff. I had to stop worrying about who was engaging. I had to stop worrying about who was donating. I had to stop worrying about who was sharing my stuff and what is this and this. Cause I'm like, look, I need y'all to push me. I don't have campaigns, but when I tell you that man upstairs has been making a way out of no way and have been getting me put and had opportunities come to me that I never thought and imagined in a million years in all my life that I would have experienced, that I wasn't able to see all the time because I was living in it and operating in the business mode and not really being able to enjoy the journey along the way. Like I went out to eat last year and had the chef come out to want to meet me, not even knowing that the chef was somebody. The chef was the chef that won the Bobby Flay cooking show. Like he's really a big deal, and he came out to meet little Candi Coated. So it's just those opportunities that and experiences that I experienced, and I'm just like, wow. Even when he showed me recently, I shared this with my friend earlier. I don't think I even shared this with you guys when tonight's conversation had their whole blow up thing, before it became a big blow up thing that they were fraudulent and all that other stuff. I had already knew about it because I had spoken and ran into one of the people who used to be on there, and they were talking to me and sharing about it. I didn't know anything about it because I was like, oh, okay. And then whoop, it was probably like some months had gone by, and then they had blew up all over the internet. And then here we are, where as though this young lady scammed people out of $50,000, right? And I brought it to you guys. I ain't trying to say I'm the first, but I brought it to you guys, and we talked about it. And here we are today. And I have woke up the other day, and that story has been spewing all over the internet by all these other creators, right? And I laughed. I even texted a few of my friends about it, and I laughed. I looked at God and I said, "Oh, you are funny." Like now goodness well. But I said, but you know what? I don't always break my show up in pieces like that either. And I'll get better at it. But all the while, with that happening, he's just continuing to show me, like, girl, you are headed in the right direction. You are onto something. You are doing the right thing. You are doing it. You know, when he said, I don't donate to her GoFundMe, watch it play out. Here we are. It's a huge, big scandal. So it's just those things. And we're about to turn 8 years old, and I could not have done it without you guys. So thank you for all of what you add to it. Times where you guys didn't know I was praying and was ready to give up, and then I'll come on live, and then you guys will show up. Or I may have really been down, not down bad, but really like, what am I going to do? I'm short. I need this. And I'll get a random Cash App or a random Zelle, or I'll get a random donation on my website. And all the while, nobody, you guys wouldn't know, or nope, we don't know what goes on. But it was like, oh, dang, that came through right in the clutch. So I just said all that to say that if you ever feel like that God is not going to take care of you, I am telling you that that's what I have to live by. He will take care of you. We just have to get out of our own way and allow God to be God. And it can be difficult when the bills is due and money is funny, and you thinking about doing something strange for a little piece of change, but you gotta hold on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I just want to, like, I truly appreciate that. I remember, I won't say names, okay? I always usually say names, but I had randomly received, I'm not gonna put them up there because they're watching. Look at me. I got to tell what I was telling because they're watching. But I had randomly woke up one day. I don't know if it was last year, this year, I can't remember. And forgive me, it just all runs together. I had randomly woke up one day to like a $50 donation. I'm like, what is this notification that I'm getting or whatever on a website? And I was like, oh my goodness. And the donation had came in. I had got that $50 donation, and I was like, dang, I was exactly like $50 short from paying my bill at that time. I think it probably was like, I was like $50 short on my rent, I think. And I was like, oh, dang. And they didn't know. Only person that knew was the big homie. You understand? And outside of that, I was like, dang. And they didn't know. And then a complete stranger ended up like selling me something as well, just ran. I'm like, and so it was like, not only did he give me that 50 to seal the deal, he also gave me a little extra. You know what I mean? Even though it still went to a bill, but that's not the point. But just want to go, we just live in the times where we're all here trying to make a way. And that's why I just want you guys to know, anytime you guys send any donations, anytime you guys cash up, anytime you guys do anything, even if it's not financially, but even when it's just with you sharing my content, being here with me, I pray for all of y'all. I say a prayer for all of y'all. You know what I mean? Because you guys are here and with me on this journey. So that's why it's always a little difficult. Now it's gotten a little difficult for me because, like I said to you guys, like I come here and I'm like, I don't know who's going to be here. I don't know who's going to be here, but I don't even care because I'm like, where's Benita? Where's CJ? Where's Andre? Where's Tanera? Like, at one point in time, like, y'all the top hitters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where they at? And as long as they here, we in here, we're going to talk, we're going to have a conversation. And I appreciate that. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know which way we're going. I don't know. I've been sitting still these last couple of days, just trying to decide which way to go, because Facebook, like I said, is deleting videos after 30 days. So I'm like, okay, what we doing? Are we staying on Facebook still, or are we going to strictly just go to YouTube, and how we rocking, so I'm just still trying to figure that out. I definitely love the fact that we've been back doing the call-ins. Definitely going to continue to do the call-ins for people to call in. I definitely put the link in if you wanted to call in today. I definitely had put that out there earlier. I'm working on trying to me and Handy Manny fuss all the time. Y'all know I don't know how to jump on everything that everybody else is doing. I don't know. It just I don't know how to do that. But what I can do is be true and be authentic to me. And I'm just trying to really believe that in God's timing, He's going to make it happen. And I believe that He's going to make it happen, not for just me, but He's going to make it happen for you guys as well. With just being supportive, just being with anything that you're doing in your life, and just for always trying to do your best, even. And I just want you to know that this is why I always used to be like, okay, yes, the donations, yes, the things y'all see, like you'll be able to see where I always say, people got you. You gotta love to see where your money going, and what you're doing. And so I'm just grateful and appreciative to all of you guys. I am going to start. Look at me. Don't lie to the people. I would love to start bringing guests back onto the actual show, virtually more so than in person. I don't know if we can get me my own personal videographer again. Then sure, I would love to go out and get people and do all that. But I'm also a little eerie on the guest part of bringing the live people on, is because, like I told y'all, we're finding out that so many people aren't who they say they are. What do you say? You ain't the nigga you say you is. I know. So I've always, scouted people. Every guest that I've had come on here, shout outs to all the guests, to all the authors that came on here. So, dating coach Nick Love, who was on here, bedroom Candy, who was on here, the LV Louis Vuitton addict lady that came on here, Holloway for the Men Project, I'm so appreciative to all the guests that I've had on here, Duck the artist. But it's like now so many people are phony that is like, oh, I can't have you on here. And you come into my family and you sitting up on this microphone and you lying, or you're not who you say you are. And we of course, here we don't expect perfection. We keep it real as we can real, but we want you to at least have some substance when you come up here and talk to us. Amen. Can I get an amen? Because we over here, we glowing and we growing. And we are turning 8 Friday. We are turning 8. We are turning 8 Friday. I cannot believe it. I was thinking about doing a thing where it's like, ooh, like something like, oh, give $8 or something if you can, I was thinking of all that type of stuff, like, oh, how to make it a thing. But I'm just super excited about that, you guys. I've never stuck with anything. I like patience like a flea. And then every time I say that, I'm looking like, girl, clearly you are getting patience. Clearly you have developed patience, because you've been doing this for 8 years. So Friday we turned 8, but even though we turned 8 after midnight, we're going to be on our journey to 9. Yeah. So it's just like, yes, 8 is the number of new beginnings. And listen, during year 8, we had a lot of beginnings. We had a lot of new beginnings. We did. We had a lot of beginnings. I finished the website, got out. I started doing the social media management, the one-on-one trainings, credit. It's a lot. So many things came that I did during this 8th year. During this 8th year, it was a lot of things. And then as we approach the 9th year, the 9th year is in about like revision. What worked, what didn't. changing some things. What do you want to do? And it's just like, oh my God. But now that I didn't have to take my butt back to a little job, okay, um, it's just like I be tired. I be tired, but I still be here like I wanted to like change stuff around in here. I still need a bigger desk, but I know that he's gonna send it. He's gonna send it and it's all gonna work out. But we are turning 8. I'm turning 8 years old, and you can't do anything but get better with time. And I am praying like, Lord, come on, bust us out a little long or bust us out a little early. Like, come on. But we've been here. It doesn't even seem like it's been 8 years. Do it seem like it's been 8 years for y'all that's been here? Do it seem like it's been 8 years? It doesn't even it don't even seem like it's been 2. And I guess when you're living in it, it doesn't seem like it. But listen, we've been here. Okay. I want to say 7 for 8 years, but 8 years. And yeah, I didn't really start making a coin until my 8th year. And I'm just like, okay, I'm super excited. Y'all done been with me through my weight loss journey, up and down, life-changing moments, parenting moments, and just accepting me. And I'm just grateful that what they say, I ain't sold my soul for $1. I ain't go with you tell my homegirl I'm going to couch. I ain't gone on a casting couch. I ain't get to make it to the Diddy party. You feel me? But I'm definitely looking to see what it's like, because we definitely got to pick a side. You say no, time is definitely fine. It is. We have to pick a side, and man, if I didn't have this, I probably would have lost my mind through a lot of things. But we're doing it, and I just want to say that even though we are a smaller platform and we have a smaller following, and even if the donations and the payouts from social media, whatever, has been smaller, I want y'all to know that we, CCS, we have been making a huge impact. And that's all that matters. The impact we're making, from the young lady who say, hey, our conversations helped her be able to leave and walk away from her husband. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it depends on how you want to take it. But walked away and really got grounded with herself. That's when I used to do the Speak Easy show. She said, we helped her to really, go ahead and give this other man a chance. Matter of fact, I think she just I just seen her update, because she every now and again she'll update me. She's living in another state, married again, and has like two or three children with her new husband, and is thriving, from the kids that we were able to provide Christmas for, from the families we were able to provide Thanksgiving for the families whom lights we were able to keep from getting disconnected, from the families that we were able to keep from being evicted, from the people who needed lunch, we were able to give them lunch. So yeah, we're small, but we make a heavy impact. You understand? I am. Come on. I am who I say I am, because I am who I say I am. And all of this was just built off of my word and trust, So I love the fact that you guys were able to be here with me, and we were able to do it. 8 years. 8 years up. 8 years up. We're going all the way up. Up. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. I am still in denial. And denial is not just a river in Egypt. I can't believe that. So we are here. July 17th. Mark the date. July 17th. Man, I had no clue. No idea. I can't wait. We're going to go down memory lane. I think I'm going to share some stuff, because I've archived so much stuff. But on my pages and on social media, maybe I'll bust them out the archives for a little bit. But yeah, I can't wait. We are turning 8 years old Friday. We are turning 8. We are turning 8. I'm going to try to. I'm going to call everybody. I want a birthday gift. But no, even if 8 people just share share the platform or get 8 people to subscribe to the channel, or get 8 people to follow on Instagram. Just do that for me, okay? If we could just get 8 people to join each platform, a piece though. Not CJ, you get one, Scenario, you get one, that count as 2. 8 people individually. Can we do that? Because I'm gonna do it. Can we do that? Can you guys do that for me tonight? Can you guys do that for me tonight? Please, can we get 8 people to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel? And I always tell people, listen, you don't gotta engage, you don't gotta do this, just subscribe, hit the button. But now, no, let's subscribe, hit that button, engage. Can we get 8 followers, 8 new followers on Instagram a piece? Say I'm just a little color girl. I don't ask for much. Or do I gotta give y'all a sub story like the girl did to get 50,000? Y'all don't accept the real. But no, just for me, can we get 8 new people? Shoot, I'm gonna dedicate that myself. So you know what that means? I gotta go find me 8 new strangers. Y'all know I know how to do that. I don't have a problem talking to people. So we have 860 subscribers. If I can get 8 new people, we'll be at 868. I want to see where we are come next Wednesday. Because I see how many people he put at 7, 8, 9, 8 on here now. We can get 8 people apiece to go and subscribe to the channel. Follow the TikTok. Follow the Instagram. Come on, y'all. We are turning 8. We are about to pump up the value. We are continuing to pump up the value, but we're going to do it. I've been working on some music. Working on some music. I don't know. I just so much. I'm dying to release the book, but it got to be I guess it got to be the right timing. Okay. Because I got to fund everything out of that. And it's just like, wait a minute, hold on. I had to put that on the back burner, child, because the editors and everybody got to get paid. It's like, hold on. But yeah, I'm excited. 8 years. Your girl's been doing this for 8 years. And man, I can't believe it. 8 years. Because Draco is now 4. Oh, sugarty doogity now. Oh. Listen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me let y'all hear the beat. See, every time we get something going. See, CJ, you always showing up starting something, but I'm gonna let y'all hear the beat. CJ, I'm gonna let y'all hear the beat. CJ, you want to hear the beat? I'm gonna let you see the beat. I'm gonna let you hear the beat. And because y'all know I love me another one. I'm gonna, let me. Don't worry about it. Let me see. Okay, listen. I don't know. Is it time for me to release my EP? See, it's time to release Candi Coated Records. Ooh, that might be Candi Coated Records. I think I like that. You know what's funny? When I did that one song, this young guy that I met, and when I was in the studio, he had started following me, a little young guy. I think he was probably 18 or something at that time. And he inboxed me one day and was like, you should get a chain. What is up with rappers and these chains? He was like, you should get a chain with your initials on it, with your CCS, or you should get a chain that say Candi Coated. And believe it or not, fun fact, Janaya brought me a necklace that used to say Candi Coated. Oh my gosh. And then when I used to do those skits with Jasmine at our last job, some years ago, we would do skits, and she was like, she would act. Do y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all were following me then. Do y'all remember when we used to have those skits and stuff put on Instagram with me and Crazy Wimbo from work? And she was like, she would act like the people coming in to rent a house and was like, does your necklace say candy coated? And it was like, yeah. She was like, she was like, oh, that is so cute. Your necklace is candy coated. It's like, yeah. She was like, you're so ghetto. Do y'all remember that? Oh man, just sitting here with y'all is bringing back so many memories of the stuff that we used to do. What was that? That was like that was the second year. Second year I had an Instagram with a chokehold. I remember that. Okay, here we go. I gotta let you hear a little bit. All right, CJ, I gotta let you hear a little bit, CJ. Yeah! See, I get pumped up just hearing it. I get pumped up just hearing this beat. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. That's it, CJ, that's it. Oh, I get pumped up. Oh, I'm ready to go off. Oh my gosh, y'all don't understand. And I'm just super excited. So I don't know. It's so many different things that I'm trying to. It's just so many different things that I'm just like trying to decide if I want to do. But I definitely feel like the girl has definitely been back in the stew. The girl has definitely been back in the stew. No, look at your face. Why you make that face? Listen. Yeah, I think, when they say I've been humble for too long. It's like, no, but yeah, I think it's definitely so many different things that I have. And I'm just like, all right, we're gonna have to complete these projects. We're gonna have to complete these things. And I'm just super excited. See, now I share that with y'all. Now I'm gonna end up supposed to be probably going to be it. Now I'm gonna be getting off of here and be back in the stew. I like when they say that, the stew. Oh, yo, I was in the stew. But yeah, I'm just super excited with all the things that we have. I couldn't do it without you guys. And I'm just super excited. Um, so I want you guys to go out and be great and be everything that you want to be, you know who you are. Don't answer to what people and who they want you to be. Live your life for you, don't live your life for anybody else, you know, be the standard, heavy on the be the standard. And we got this. Just be great. But I'm just super excited. Be great. We are turning 8. Oh, that rhymed. We are turning 8. We are turning 8. I am turning 8 years old. I can't remember. I can't remember what I did when I turned 8 years old in my life. But we're turning 8 years old. I want to get some things too, but we're turning 8 years old, you guys. And I didn't think I'd see it. I wish my girl was here so she could see it, but she here with me spiritually. But man, this has been a journey. But we're gonna go down memory lane. I feel like we should go down memory lane. We're gonna go down memory lane. Who knows? I may come here Friday night and have some things lined up so we can just go down memory lane because we turned 8. Um, who knows? Who knows? That's a good idea. I don't know. But I'm excited. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And everything that you contribute to us. And I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm just super excited. Yeah. I'm really, living in that moment. Living in that moment. So I want you guys to know that if I can do it, you can do it. It's never too late. You can change anything. You can change today. You can change tomorrow. Take it one step at a time. Just continue to keep on going forward. You know, y'all know I come here and tell y'all, life is life and hoes still mad. I rock assignment before I go outside. You know, that, it ain't always sunshine and rainbows. And that's why, we have to appreciate the days that it is sunshine. So let's start appreciating the days that, all hell isn't breaking loose in our lives. Because on the days that all hell's break loose is like, whoa, my God, what are we doing? So I'm starting to understand that a little more too. Me and my friend was on the phone early before I did the show, and it was like, girl, look, last July we was here. Listen, last July I had got laid off. In June, call myself trying to get a job, not trying to trust the process, and was mad. Well, not mad. I was praying every morning before I started this job one day that something would go wrong every day, and literally something went wrong every day. Which because of the delay in the system of me starting. And then that's when it was like, nope. And I just was like, embrace where you are. Sometimes you have to prepare for landing and embrace the impact of the fall and just go with it. And that's what I did. And then here we are. And she's like, girl, look at where we are in this July. And it's like, but girl, it's gonna get better. Because even though that we had a good time last year. We haven't one, we're gonna have one this year. The year ain't over. But I be like, Lord, it's about to be August. But we're gonna be here. And just appreciative. So just appreciate where you are, appreciate who you are, and I'm telling you, it is important to sit back and take a look at your life and the things and the difficulty that you've overcome and the things that you thought that would would take you under, the friends that you thought you couldn't live without, the relationships you thought you couldn't breathe without. um and even as painful as it may be, do your loved ones that are no longer here, that you didn't foresee yourself continuing to be able to continue on, even if you aren't at your best every day, at least you're continuing on and trying, and that is worth celebrating. um the fact that we don't give up and curl in the corner, and even when life hit us, you gotta let it hit you, but you always had that bat prepared for when you decide to swing and hit that home run, baby. So just continue to be great and be the energy you want to attract, and go out and create the life you want, and put your best foot forward. And as long as you're trying, you will never be a failure, because failure is not an option. And I will not give up before the miracle happens, and neither should you. Don't give up before the miracle happens. We're getting closer, you're getting closer, and things can simply change overnight for you. And just pray to be able to carry what it is that you're asking for, you know? And listen, look at it all as character building, because that's all it is. I have to look at that too, like, okay, he's conditioning me and getting me prepared. And these are the steps for the preparation. And I don't know what it's gonna look like. I stop worrying about when it's gonna happen and what it's gonna look like. I just be like, yo, you already know what's up. You know what the bank account look like, my dig. You know what I mean? You know what the dream is, but it's just trusting it and living this life and having these human experiences um can be challenging. It can be rather challenging. And you know, I want us to embrace and overcome the challenge. And you can take it by storm, even if it doesn't feel good, you know. I know some months I look back and was like, how am I going to make it? How am I going to make it? Like it was just so much pressure on me a couple months ago. And it just was like, how am I just going to make it just getting up every day doing something I don't want to do? But then I would have to fight, because we have to fight and push through, right? And it's like, but somebody didn't get to wake up. So when I literally say we have to fight for our joy, you literally have to fight for your joy. You have to fight for your joy. Fight for your joy every day, all day. We have to fight for it. Fight for it. Um, Find something that works. Surround yourself around people who can push you when you can't even push yourself. You know what I mean? Yes, amen, queen. Yes. Push yourself even when you can't. Have people around you, you know, get your heart together. Yo, literally live this life to the end. We only get one. Treat people better. Treat yourself well. Take care of your kids. Take care of your responsibilities. Take care of your family. But most importantly, take care of you. Get your health together. Get your house in order. Not just your physical house, but your mental house, your spiritual house, your inner house. You know, clean that up. You know, clean up your car. You know, try to be better. Be kind. Or, you know, what Tabitha Brown say? If you having a bad day, don't go mess up nobody else's day. You know what I mean? Just keep on going. And when you are tired and you need to rest, yo, rest. Rest. He's not asking you to kill yourself. He's asking you to have faith and trust him. And spiritual growth and wisdom and discernment and knowing also comes with rest. It's okay to rest and be tired. You know, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to be an individual and not go with culture. Because having feelings, responding to things that bother you, hurt you, or excite you, whatever, society says is masculine. It's femininity. I love saying femininity like that. I love saying it. If y'all hear me saying like that, it's an inside joke between me and one of my friends. The femininity. And don't worry about it. These people don't know you. You know you. Look at that. Michael Jackson say, yeah, I'm talking to the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways. Okay? Look at you and love you. Every area, every flaw, every imperfection. Because even if you don't like you, you know, the Bible says and God said he's already made you perfect in his image and in his likeness. So embrace the roll on the side. Put a little jelly on it. For the fellas with the little shrimps, just find the right cocktail sauce. You feel me? Embrace you, goddammit. Love you. Somebody out here love shrimp. Somebody out here love biscuits and jelly. But anything about you that you don't like about you or your life, guess what? Only you have the power and authority to change it. You don't like it, change it. Or whatever you don't like, change. And you can do that. And that is the beauty. A tree can only be a tree. A dog can only be a dog. And a car can only be a car. But you, the person, a human, you can be anything that you want to be. And that's the beauty in it. And that's the lovely part. We can be anything that we want to be. Go out and create the life you want. So I enjoyed this with you guys. I enjoyed it. 8 years. 8 years. Woohoo! 8 years. And I hope you guys have a great day. Okay. Anything else before we get out of here for the night? And I had said to my friend, I said, girl, I'm getting on here early. I was about to come on here. Yo, I ain't lying. I was about to come on here at 7:30. I said, I'm not going to be on here for 2 and 3 hours tonight. I'm not doing this with them. I'm not doing this with y'all. And here we are. But you know what I like about it is it reminds me of the days. Like, this is the base of Candi Coated. You see how some of y'all left and came back? I was like, wait a minute. Like, this is the beauty of it. The show that keeps going with no commercials. And I ain't even asking you to pay for a premium no ad subscription. Come on now, you gotta find the beauty in it, okay? But no, this is like, isn't this like back in the day? Like we used to be on here for 2, 3, and 4 and 5 hours. And here we are, we're doing it. And it doesn't even seem like it's that long. At least to me. And it's like, dang, and I sit here and I got the yo gabba gabba with y'all for 2 hours straight. But I was like, I'm gonna log on early so I can get off by 8:30. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. But I'm super excited. I say, yeah. Listen, what that song say? We would be on here, CJ. I could do this for hours, hours, and hours. I could do this for hours. Sit and talk to you for hours. Something about some hours. Okay? And I ain't talking about no man. Okay, that's what she uses. That's the song. That's how the song goes. But I'm excited. Hopefully, I don't know. I may change the decor. I may not. But yeah. Hold on. A change is coming. But remember to be great. And that's it. We are turning 8. Be great, because we are turning 8. And I'm excited. And thank you guys for being here with me through all of this and all of the changes. And I've been with y'all through y'all bullshit. Y'all been with me through my bullshit. And we just here. And I'm super, super excited. And it's so funny. Like I noticed how things change when I used to really like be into everything. Because I would be getting stuff all in. Like, what else? I got all these good little gifts over the years. Oh, shout outs to Renew You Body Butter. You know I'm a real elite affiliate of Renew You Body Butter. And I hope it's not too late. And I hope she doesn't kill me because Kay Sean has asked me to send her I have to send her something. She's asked me that. And I have to send her an email to make sure that I still have time because your girl is going to be on a billboard. But I won't be on a billboard if I don't get the information over to be on the billboard. So I'm going to have to work on that tonight. I am definitely going to have to work on that tonight. And I can't wait. But just like with all the little gifts that I've received that are over here, the whole little candy coated trophy corners and stuff that's over here from the things that we've been given during different anniversaries and just with different people that have been on the show. But yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you guys. Have a great night. And I will talk to you guys and see you